Welcome back everybody. Today we will be talking about the iPhone 17 Pro Max. This bad boy right here. I've had this since launch day, which was I believe September 19th. Got it in the mail, and we're going to talk about all the upgrades if you want to consider them to be upgrades, battery life, cameras, new build, all the good stuff. So let's get right into it. So this year they went back to aluminum. They went away from the titanium, which they were praising to be so amazing the past couple years. And I know a lot of people don't like that because of the durability, but like I said, in my opinion, is always just put a case on it. Most people always put a case on it anyways. Me personally, I like how it feels. I don't know why the website says it's heavier, but technically the new iPhone is lighter. And then since it's all one piece, it's a lot more smoother to hold in the hand because you can feel the aluminum wrap around the body instead of the glass meeting the titanium in the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So that is a big plus for me. Also this year they came out with an anti-reflective screen. It's not as great as the Samsung S25 Ultra's anti-reflective screen, but it still does the job. Still, we've been asking for this for a long time, so any change is welcome. Very, very good change. Most importantly, it's still water and dust resistant, so that's nothing to worry about with the new unibody aluminum frame. Technically, I think it's still very durable. If you do break it, take it to the Apple Care, it should be a lot much of a faster process. As for the display, Apple never gets the display wrong. Display is still beautiful. Somehow they just still managed to get the bezels to be even smaller. So technically the phone just looks like it's pure screen now, just with the tiny little bezel. And you know what, it looks amazing. You have the Super Retina XDR panel with excellent HDR, vivid color reproduction, animations, thanks to ProMotion, which are on all the iPhones this year, the whole new iPhone 17 lineup, which is a welcome change. So whether you're gaming, on social media, doing whatever you gotta do, the screen is just never gonna let you down. Now this is where we get into the performance. The performance is probably my favorite part of this phone. I'm not gonna joke around when I say that coming from the 16 Pro Max to the 17 Pro Max, I noticed right away the change. I know some people are gonna say that's impossible or whatever, but from opening apps to doing little daily things, I just noticed how much quicker it is at doing things without any hiccups. We do have that A19 Pro chip in there, and now that it has a new vapor chamber inside, I have not had this phone get hot on me once, even when downloading software updates, because I'm on the beta program. Like playing games, sometimes it would get really hot when I played games, especially when I was out in the sun. That's not an issue anymore. Just, little things like that. Even when I charge the battery, it still doesn't get hot anymore. So like I said, this is a very, very welcome change. On the camera side, they did go ahead and upgrade all three cameras to 48 megapixel, which I don't understand why they didn't do that sooner, but finally we got it, so let's enjoy it. So now that all the cameras are 48 megapixel, you're gonna get a great image quality out of all three cameras that you use. Any of the cameras you decide to use are all gonna be great. Like I said, everybody always goes to Apple for their video because they always win in that department. And I know you've seen that the new feature for the iPhone 17 Pro Max is the square sensor in the selfie camera. Now you can record yourself in landscape mode even when you're holding the phone just straight up and down, which is very welcome, so you don't have to hold your phone like awkwardly. You can just continue holding it like this. I mean, as far as the camera goes, like I said, we just know it's great. Another one of my favorite things about this phone is the battery. When I talk about I do not have to worry whatsoever about charging my phone this past week that I've had this phone, it sometimes makes me wonder if I'm doing something wrong just because the battery is lasting so freaking long. Sometimes, I'll look at the battery because I'm used to looking at my battery for the 16 Pro Max. And don't get me wrong, the 16 Pro Max did have great battery, but I'd still have to watch for it and make sure that it's charged all the way and it'll last me throughout the whole day. But with the 17 Pro Max, I feel like the problem is now that I don't want to have to charge it too much, because at the end of the night sometimes I'll have like 60% battery and I'm like, dang, I don't know if I should charge it or just leave it for the next day. So that's the only problem I have with the 17 Pro Max, is just too much battery, which is not a problem at all. And you know, software side, we did get that iOS 26 release with the liquid glass. I personally love it. Most people don't like it. I know a few of the older model iPhones are having trouble, you know, sustaining the graphics and all that of the iPhone for the liquid glass. Personally, iPhone 17 Pro Max, no issues, running great. Favorite part about it is the home screen. You know, the lock screen looks amazing every time I turn on my screen. So no complaints here about iOS 26. So what do you guys think about the iPhone 17 Pro Max? I didn't really go too far into detail about it because I know by now you guys have seen plenty of videos on it. I know I'm a little late to the game, but I kind of wanted to use it for a little bit before I release the video and, you know, really give you guys my opinion, not just based off of videos that I've seen. So what do you guys think? Would you guys upgrade? I came from a 16 Pro Max and I still upgraded it and I still see a difference. I know for some people it might not be worth it. Personally, I always upgrade just because I like to have the newest iPhone. You can call me a fanboy, Apple fanboy if you don't want, but I've tried everything this year. I went from Apple, to Google Pixel, to Samsung, and I always come back reaching for the Apple phone. The 17 Pro Max is for sure my favorite so far. And please don't let the aluminum change and all these social media posts, you know, shy you away from getting the phone. Just put a case on it. You know, most people do anyways. So one thing I always strongly recommend is getting Apple Care. I always get Apple Care with my phones. That's why I'm not really too worried about it. Apple Care is just, you know, they're not a sponsor in this video obviously, but it makes me not have to worry about breaking my phone or anything. We'll see. I might end up making a, you know, day in the life video with the iPhone 17 Pro Max to show you guys like how it performs throughout the day, you know, battery life wise, and, you know, using it as a camera. I would like to use it as like a way to show you guys if you guys would like to upgrade or not, but I'd have to pick a day where it's, you know, I'm gonna be using it heavy. So I'm waiting on that day. But yeah, drop a like, subscribe. Got more videos coming out for this phone. Let me know what you want to see. And yeah, see you next time.